Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode. Today I'm joined with Joe, and it's going to be a really cool episode because almost a year ago I was on Joe's show, so it's going to be really cool to hear his story this time. So Joe, it's great to have you. Would you mind introducing yourself?
Sure, my name's Joe Suits from New York City, and I guess I'll talk about my condition.
Yeah, go ahead and
Sure, I have a rare condition called FOP, where basically what happens is my muscles turn into bones. I've got deep layers, and swelling starts forming all over my body, and then bones just start growing everywhere, and then lock my body into place. So I was born moving all my limbs, and now I'm like 95% limb locked, so I can't move much anymore.
yeah, it must be pretty tough.
Yeah, it's just a very unpredictable and unforgiving disease.
Yeah. Do you know many other people that have it?
Yeah, I know about a couple of hundred. Just like not like socially, like we talk often, but
Hmm.
I have access to them. Like there's some bigger, I guess, names that are more that pop up more. But yeah, I know a good amount around the United States and even around the world. We're a very close knit family.
Well, that's pretty cool. Well, it's not cool that you have it, but it's pretty cool that you know people.
I mean, to me, it doesn't really matter that much. It's just more of just knowing them, but otherwise, I don't talk to them much as just friendly. After
Yeah,
a while, like you don't talk about your disease, you talk about life and stuff. And I don't, we have very different interests that I can't talk to that many, but we do help and support each other when we need it for like health stuff or like how to do this or that, because obviously it's so rare that you can't talk to many. But otherwise, I mean, I'm sure you do it with your disease. After a while, they don't talk about what you have. They talk about like sports or
mm,
shows or anything like that, just random, normal
yeah,
adult stuff.
yeah. Like it is pretty cool because like on my show I like to kind of talk about all that stuff. Like I know like, we talk about our stories and that, but I like to like talk about hobbies and stuff. So um, what are your hobbies, Joe? Do you have any?
So I mean, now is my job now. So podcasting was a hobby, and now it's my job. I love to video edit. I love to storytell. I love to film videos from my YouTube channel. But I'm privileged and blessed and skilled enough to make my hobby into my job. So it's great to get paid for it.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. And do you like with doing like the maybe YouTube? Do you do them like every once in a while? Do you have a breaks or like how do you
No,
do
I
it?
do a video every Monday and Thursday. So every Monday is a new episode with a guest for my video podcast, and then Thursday is it could be a vlog, it could be a talking bit, or an outing or something, but it'll be something that's more centered around me. Where Monday's episode is always talking about the guest, so I always follow someone for them. And I didn't take a break for 2 years. I have to keep going.
Hmm, yeah. Do you find it hard to find like people to talk to, or do you find that a bit easy?
Finding people is the easy part. It's more the scheduling. I think is the hardest part, honestly. Or the
Yeah,
interest in, people are busy with their lives and such, or they don't respond back, or they express interest and then they just never read a message or they just ghost and stuff. So the hard part is really just scheduling it down. But then once I get the interview done, then the rest is up to me, and I enjoy that.
yeah, yeah. You got the power to say, but we'll do it then, and then we'll schedule that in. But yeah, um, I agree. That is it's hard because like you, it's I guess it is annoying when people read your message and don't answer.
Yeah, I mean, just imagine like I can understand like people being busy and stuff, but it's a courtesy of just like, hey, like, you show me like a little respect of like, hey, I'm not interested in that, or let's put something else. Like if you're really interested, you would make plans to be on the interview and such. But I mean, I don't, I only give like people two chances. If they don't bite, then I just move on because there's so many other people I can interview. And not worth my time to chase after anybody. So it's their loss, not mine.
Yeah, yeah, I agree. Like, yeah, you ask them once, and if they don't answer, that they know, I guess, the offer's there because you've took out your time to message them.
Yeah, I mean, I did give them like two chances, and then I'll just move on. There's so many other people, and it's not worth my time, and I don't want to chase after anyone. It's not. And it's also a little rude that they don't respond back and such. And it's like, there's just so many other people. It's not, like there's like one or how to reach out to get share like a million likes on his TikToks, but it was just rude how she kept stringing me along, and I couldn't take it. So I did, like there could be other people. I'm gonna be doing this for a long time, and like there could be there's. I mean, the more you go into it, the more you realize how many people are out there that you can interview and such. And like throughout, you keep following more people, and more people find you and such. So it's either like nice journey to like meeting new people and seeing what is expanding more horizons. I never knew a lot of these diseases ever existed, so it's cool for me to explore with somebody else.
Yeah, it's pretty cool because there's so many people out there to find about all sort of different things, like which is it's really cool because like especially like like Instagram, for example, like it's a very kind of community based app, I guess, where you can find people of all like with different conditions, which it's cool. But like you say, it's easy to find, just a bit maybe harder to arrange it.
Oh yeah, I mean, I could find probably hundreds of people, but like maybe like 40% I'll actually like talk to. Or so like, I mean, like I do like 5 interviews a month, and like I always hit up like 10 to 15 people just to get 5 interviews every time. And it's like, okay, like I have a list of people that I interviewed, and then people that like I reject, that they ghosted or whatever happened. So I just have a list. Because I'm sure I'm gonna fall into a trap where I reach out to someone and I already talked to them before.
Yeah,
Be a little weird. But I try to do that. But I mean, it's cool. It's also cool, like like I'll follow this brand new person, and then they'll have like other people that are already following them. It's kind of like a small community, almost kind of weird too. Like just everyone kind of knows each other in a way.
yeah. Yeah, I'm the same. Like you'll see a person that maybe you've had on your podcast, and then you'll see maybe who they're following, maybe that you haven't. Maybe you are following these people because you can, and then you think, oh look, I haven't had you on yet. I'll ask you.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't host the same person twice. I might split an episode into two if it's a really long episode, but I don't do anyone twice. But I mean, I think it just helps when you have other people that follows you to create like, hey, this person has done something well, like they can like talk to each other. Like, hey, like should I go on this person's podcast? Like, what do you think of this person? And such. So it's nice. But I mean, I'm meeting brand new people, so it's like most of them have no idea who I am. So I just introduce them, and then they have introduce myself, and then hopefully they're like interested in what kind of work I do and that stuff. But I just put my bait out there, and if people bite, awesome. If they don't, like I just move on. I'm too busy to like start chasing after people, and then I also don't want to chase people and then feel like that was rude, that they were rude to me, like to do all this research on each person and stuff. So it's like not worth my time and such. And even if they hit me up later, I'm like, the ship has sailed, and that's their loss, not mine.
Yeah, yeah. I always think that, like, because you don't want to continue message them if they're not making the effort themselves, do you really? So you just move on.
Oh, I don't do anything. I just unfollow them and move on. That's it. I forget all about them.
Yeah, because because like you say, there's loads of people out there you can have to speak about, like,
Well, I mean, it's disappointing. Some people are like were really big people, and some like had really interesting stories. I wanted to talk to them about it, but I can't help it like the stories online. So, but like I said, there's just so many more people to interview, and that's like like I could like talk to like 100 people on my follow list right now, and sorry, but I don't have enough time to interview those. Like I only do 5 interviews a month. I do a different service from Zoom called Riverside, so I only pay for 5 hours a month. So I did, so I have to do 5 interviews, and so it's like now with my job, so now I'm more serious. I mean, always been serious, but now it's more like like you're gonna work with me or not. Like I don't have like I only have a month to do the 5 interviews, so I want you to all my 5 hours. So I'm kind of time crunch, but some people are busy. Like I have an interview scheduled for February. You can see, limits your podcasting like energy, so I had to schedule it to February. Well, that's fine. Like I don't like I rather have the interview than saying like, oh, I'm not interested and whatever. But I don't know. Just I did like people that like professional, I guess, and they just want to like work with you and like actually work with you, not just like, oh, maybe I'll look at you and get back to you or never get back to you, or just or like, oh, I don't know, I'm too busy, and then you never schedule anything. So I just assume it's a no and I'll just move on. Sometime I'll like reach out in a couple months, be like, hey, are you? I get to say they're busy and such. So I'll be like, hey, in a couple months, reach out. Like, hey, are you okay? Like, let's do this. But I mean, it depends on the energy they give too. Like, some are apologetic and such, which is nice. So like, you want to give them another chance, but some are just like kind of cold about it. So it's like, whatever, move on. Like, nothing personal. Like, we don't. I mean, I don't even know these people, so nothing personal about it. Like, we'll just we'll just move on past each other, and I'm sure they forget about me the next day.
Yeah. I always think, like, when like you say to someone, do you want to come on my podcast or something like that, and then that they say, I'll let you know. You always know that kind of response probably, no, you won't let me know, but it's just maybe a kind offer to say, no, I guess.
How many people have you interviewed so far? Do you know?
Um, I've into like I started doing this in 2020, so about June, July 2020, and still doing it now. So I've done loads of episodes, like
How many are we talking to? Like
um
150, 200?
a couple of hundred at least. I don't know exactly, but I've done
Oh,
a couple of hundred.
you know. I have I interviewed 75 people.
25 people.
Yeah, I mean, kind of like surprised how many people I did interview. Like they kind of get lost in the wind, but yeah, it's like crazy to like interview 75 people and edit them and uploaded it. Well, I filmed 75, but I have episodes ready to go to February now. So
That was pretty
okay.
cool.
Yeah, I do in advance just in case something happens. I have like buffer time and stuff, but it's also very interesting that like I love doing the research of the people and getting to know people. So I get like I get a high from it. So I really like I would if I got paid more money to do this, I would do like 15 interviews a month. Like one day I interview like 5 people in a row. And it's exhausting, but it's also like a lot of fun at the same time. So I did like challenging myself, but I
Yeah,
need to get more to interview more. So but one interview a week is pretty good. It goes by fast now.
yeah. It does. It really, like 40 minutes. Like, of course, everyone's different, but normally it is about that for mine. But with it is like every guest is like different, and like I'd say I've done more episodes this year than last year, I think, already. So I always like when December comes up, because they have this like chart where you can hold it, like all the statistics on like Spotify and stuff. So I would look forward to that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I get most of my views from YouTube, so I don't think YouTube does that kind of thing. But I mean, I mean, you can look at the numbers anytime you want of how many views I have, 1 month, 1 year, lifetime. So it's really cool to see the statistics and like it like tells you like what country people listen to from and all that. Yeah, it's really cool. Like what sex they are, like how, like I don't think it does on Spotify, but on YouTube it tells like how long a person watched an episode for, and what was the most popular part and everything. And it's like crazy all these stats, but I also don't look at the stats as much. Like I know like the content I put is really good. Sometimes I expect more numbers and I get disappointed with low numbers because sometimes like some people, I'm sure you feel like some you have a really good chemistry with, and like it translates well into the podcast. But like people don't know that unless they just see a picture of you and they don't know. But I don't know, I think some episodes deserve more views and such. I really enjoyed them, but I'm kind of proud from what I think all. Well, I think all my episodes I'm pretty proud of, and I'm proud to say I filmed that and edited and such. I think it was a great episode.
Yeah. Yeah, so do your episodes come out like of course you said like every Monday and Thursday? Do they all come out at the same time?
Well, I do an interview on Monday, so it comes up at 9 a.m. EST every single Monday. Rain or shine. Like it helps with the algorithms and stuff. So it's the same consistent schedule. And I'll post on Instagram just in my stories. Hey, here's this person, go watch this person, and then they'll get there 24 hours, and then I go to the next video. That's kind of how it goes. Just keep grinding.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's good to have like a schedule like that in advance. It makes life a lot easier than just doing one and putting that on maybe the next day.
Oh no, well, I mean, I edit mine really well, and then I also do a nice write up, and nice like my comp pictures. A lot more work goes into it, and I just do it once a week. And if you do it too often, it gets too hectic, and you need like your content to breathe a little bit. Like your content suffers when you post too much too, and I
Mm.
don't know why we want people to post. And it's also more work when you post more often because now you have to keep hustling more, and it's not good for mentally. So 1 episode a week, 2 episodes, 2 videos a week, that's fine. Like like I film all my videos in advance. Like when I do the Thursday videos, I'll do like 4 videos in a row, like film it in one sitting and just edit it. So like I'm set for the next 4 weeks of like Monday and Thursdays. But
Yeah.
I
Yeah, it is like I'm the same. I would normally put like not at the minute like as we're recording this, but normally on Monday and Friday are the days that I would release an episode video.
yeah, I just keep it consistent so people know what's
Yeah.
up. Like I don't think anyone really like pays attention to like what time you're actually uploading it, but I don't know,
Mm.
to help with the algorithms most. That's all I
Yeah.
really care about.
Yeah.
Um,
If I'm doing a certain series about a certain thing, I'll occasionally have it maybe more like during like a certain maybe time span. Like you might have a few more a week. Just depend how many episodes have been scheduled for that particular maybe month or something. But normally it's just 2 times, like a Monday and a Friday. I think it's good because start of the week and then you come to the end of the week.
well, Friday is usually not a good day because it's the weekend. Everyone's not online. So that's why I do Monday and Thursday. So you have Thursday and then you have all of Friday.
Hmm.
Yeah. And I have Monday, so I kind of have all week to get viewed and such. That's how I find it out. But I mean, there's some people that post at like 2 a.m. and such too, like kind of, kind of like weird how people like work and such. But I think all that matters if you're just consistent with what times you do it, and it's really the best of luck to whoever does the episode. You never know. Some on my episode get like 50 views and some get like 1,000 views. And I don't really understand why, but it's
Yeah.
cool. But I don't pay attention to the numbers though. Like I know if I do good work and then as overall, then all my videos will do well. That's all I really care about. Creating good content.
Yeah, me too. I more care about just doing it and enjoying what you're doing, and rather than focusing like on views and or plays. Even though it's nice to see like more views and more people watching it, but yeah, like you say, it just matters that you enjoy what you do.
Well, I mean, I'm trying. I mean, I was always my long time goal was always to make this into a business, getting more views and more like upping the bar and podcasting and video editing and such. So like I had like a long term plan of wanting to make me money in the long run and create connections. So it's been working really well for me, and I'm can I continue doing really good content, and more people will just love it, and who knows what happened in the year, like we get like a sponsor and even more money, and maybe I'll have to do 2 episodes. But I don't know, I'm good with this formula right now, and it's just great workload. It's a lot of work for how little I'm getting paid right now, but hoping it'll pay off in the long run, where I can just do this as my full-time job and just enjoying my hobby that I never think this would be a job for me.
Hmm. You make good friends, I guess, as well. Like what when you're doing it, and good like hearing good stories, because it's really nice just to hear other people's experiences about different things.
I mean, it's nice, but you kind of get like it's kind of toxic in a way because it's so much like some people just went through like crazy shit, and it's just
Oh
very
yeah,
exhausting. It's just get toxic to you after a while, kind of like like let's say you're pretending to be someone else's therapist for a while. After a while, it gets tired. Get tiring and it's exhausting and such, and like sometimes I need an outlet and such because like I'm dealing with my own shit too. And but I understand it's part of the business, and I have to just let it go and not take it personally. Like I'm inviting people to my podcast to share their stories. I kind of bring it on myself too for them to open up. But it's really great. It focuses on kind of long term. It's like how great this story would be to be on the internet, but because not many, or not really that many podcasts in this field that does this kind of work. So it'd be nice for me to be one of those people to like help people share their story and such and have them open up. And just a platform to talk because everyone loves to talk.
yeah, yeah. Talking's fun.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, it's a nice thought to be the guest of a podcast too, just to sit back and let them take control. Because you're
yeah,
always thinking of like the next question to ask and active listening and all of that. So you need to just sit back and relax and
yeah,
not do anything.
yeah. I think like I'm the same when I've been on podcasts as well. Like you don't have to be the host for a while. You can just you get wait to ask questions. Like it's more chilling, but yeah, I guess you're enjoying a nice break today, Joe.
Thank you.
Yeah, but it is like tell a little bit maybe about your story, like with your condition, like so like how does it impact your day-to-day life, would you say?
Uh, so basically, is I can't walk anymore, so I need someone. I can walk a little bit, but someone has to like put me into like a standing position, and then we'll take like baby steps. I go to the bathroom and such, but 99% of the time I have to be in a wheelchair or a chair of some kind. I can't feed myself, so I have, I lost the ability to swallow, so I need someone to help me feed myself. I have a tube in my stomach, so that's not fun either. So I always kind of need someone around me. If I want to really just do anything, go to the bathroom, take a shower, to get out of bed, I always need someone around me to help me. I need help, someone to help me come and help me set up for the podcast and do all this. And it's frustrating that I have to do that, but it's part of my life at this point. But uh, it's good. It's just that's how it worked, how it ended up. But
Mm.
I don't really have a choice. I have to keep doing what I want to do and hope people around me share the vision that I want to share. And there's many more things I would love to do, but just not surrounded by the right people, or I just have to do it solo, but that'll never be an option for me. So I have to live within a limited range of
Yeah.
life, I guess, but trying to make a big impact from a small confined to my room and doing pretty well. So couldn't imagine if I didn't have any disability how big of an impact I could do if I was able to go outside and be more active and such. But just creating a big impact for my room is pretty special to me, and feel like almost privileged can be in this world to compete and do what I love to do.
Mm. Yeah, it must be quite hard, but at least you get on with it. You know how it is, and you still do things, which is good. But because like you say, you need help to get set up for a podcast. You need help to do other things, but it is good that you have a good support there, Joe, because you kind of need that for how people can help you.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of what it's just what do I do? Well, if they don't really help me, and I make my mental health for it too. So it's helping me with the mental health, and it's have me do something with my life and be productive and stuff. So that's really important to everyone. It's if I'm happier, then they're happier too, and it makes a good match, and it does.
Yeah. You still do the things that you love to do, like your podcast show, you speak to people a couple of times a month, which I think that really does help your mental health. If in your personal life it's really tough, but when you speak to someone like this, it must be really rewarding after maybe a tough day, because like we said, it's fun talking to people.
Yeah, I mean, it's just you basically have a person talk to you for an hour and they look forward to talk to you. So yeah, I mean, it's great, but I also enjoy not really. I mean, I enjoy talking to them too, but I also enjoy getting to know them, doing the research on them, creating the content, editing the episode, writing them, do a nice summary on them, and then uploading it to the world, the whole process. That's pretty rewarding. I get to do that every single week for, now it's gonna be now it's been a year doing my podcast, and I just keep doing it all the time, and it's great to see how much I grown and how much I can help share people's stories and such, and my also my own unique brand. It's just awesome to see. I know it's awesome to see your everything you work for in a final project, but then you do that every single week. It's a rewarding thing. So and it just keeps building up, and it's great. I enjoy it. Once you upload it, you click the upload button. Your work is all done, and you just. I guess the thing that sucks is that you just go on to the next video again. I just start all over again. But I enjoy it a lot. I think it's a lot of fun, and it gets tiring a lot of times. But I mean, it's just best kind of woodwork is that sometimes it gets boring or tiring, but I have a very high drive and motivation to do this. So yeah, let's do it. There's nothing else I'd rather do at this point. See how high I can go.
Yeah, I think it also depends, because you find people from maybe different time zones and different countries, and
That's
as well.
the worst part. If they're in a different time zone, the UK not so bad, but California for me it's a little tough. One I did and one in Australia, that was really hard. I don't talk to people from Australia for the time zone different. It's just way too much time different.
Yeah.
Europe is a little tricky. I try to stay away from them. Sometimes sometimes you don't know if they're in a different country or not either.
Yeah, you have to ask, don't you? You have to ask what time zone be. Are you? I always ask that.
You don't. It's rude to go what time zone are you? Oh no, I can't do it. To me, I just look at like pages, see if they have like a good story to tell, and then I'll work with them. Like if it's in Europe, it's okay, but if it's like in Africa or Australia or something, I can't do it. It's too much of a time zone. It's like a 12-hour difference. It's insane.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, that's kind of where that's where my boundary is. If it's like further than like Russia, I guess, and like Africa and Australia, and it's just too difficult to plan it for the time zone.
Like I've done about probably 3 people from around Australia, and it wasn't that bad, but one person I had to reschedule because we got the time zone wrong. Like, well, we got the time wrong, and like, we could laugh
Yeah,
about it now.
that would happen to me once. Like schedule with someone and like I was waiting for the person, so I like messaged them like, "Hey, where are you?" And then he was just like, "Oh, you're 3 hours early." And I'm like, "Oh shit, I'm sorry." Yeah, I was all set up and everything. I was like, "Oh shit, like what do I do for 3 hours now?" So yeah, that was not me. Like I hate the time zone there. I just hate like I have to check like 4 times just to make sure I have the times right.
Yeah,
It's just so frustrating. But I always love it when they're in my same time zone. Like, it makes everything so much easier and smoother.
yeah.
Like
I checked the time zone for like our talk beforehand just to make sure, and yeah, I was right because like we're not that bad. We're only 5 hours apart, so it's not as bad as maybe like Australia,
well, it's
for
weird. I don't
instance.
know. It's weird. Like I don't know why I'm meeting like a lot of UK people for some reason are in the same area. Like, I
Mm.
don't know like how we cross paths, but this is it's like cool. But it's also like why can't you be in the United States? They help me out a little bit. But
Mm.
I just follow people for they have a good story now, and then like we make magic together. If it doesn't make magic, then I didn't move on. That's really it. Like to keep it fitness. Usually we have a great relationship after. Awesome. If we don't, that's fine too.
Yeah,
Like we're just using each other kind of for what we bring to the table. Like, you have a story to tell, you tell the story. I have the platform. Like I'll share the video. Hopefully I'll get you some views and followers, and then it's kind of like a yin yang kind of relationship, and that's really it. Like I'm sure that many people that we interviewed in the past totally forgot who we are already.
yeah,
I mean that's a normal thing. Like when I interview 200-300 people, like I'm gonna forget a lot of them, and like I'm just afraid to like go to like a gathering or something and like forget who people are when I interviewed them because like like when you're meeting 100 people and you're telling the story, like you just forget a lot,
yeah,
so like but that's just part of the game, and hopefully I don't meet too many people that have interviewed in the past. I don't think our paths will ever cross, especially one in like Australia. I'll never see that person.
no, like I always like when I interview someone and we're having a nice chat and we're getting along, which is it happens to quite that happens to quite a lot. I don't really fall out with anyone, like but I always think, oh, it'd be nice if you were closer, um, because like it would just be nice. Like you could like meet, like you could become friends and stuff like that. You could have a podcast like meeting or something like that, or you could even do it in person. Like,
I mean, I only met one person that I interviewed. The rest I just didn't. Well, a lot of them, I only met one that lives in the same city that I do, but the rest just lives elsewhere, and I don't. I
mm,
mean, we don't become like good enough friends to like want to meet each other. It's more like I get some mutual respect for each other, and then like, hey, maybe if they come in my neighborhood or I come, I'll like message them, hey, like you want to have lunch or something. Like I'll say being friendly, but like no one. Only had one that I met in person and such, and but then it didn't work out. We had a great chemistry on camera, but when we kept chatting after, it didn't turn out that great, and then now we don't talk to each other or even follow each other for that matter. So you win and you lose some, but that's life.
yeah,
Part of things.
yeah. We're not gonna get on with everyone, I guess, but yeah, yeah. Like, it's pretty cool, though. I guess, like you hop on my the video, and then you have people from, or what, like, might from a different country, a different state maybe in America. So it's all good fun.
Yeah, I mean, to me, it's about having fun and just sharing the story with each other. And that's really it. If something happens afterward, that's awesome. If not, then just all I ask is really to share share the post when I share it, and that's it. The rest is, I mean, most of the time, even if you meet a regular person that lives in a different state or whatever, you're never really gonna meet anyway. You always want to meet people that are in your state that close by. Like this. And you didn't know when you meet someone from far that you're never gonna talk to each other again. Yeah.
Mm. Yeah. I sometimes I do like to have, like, some of the same guests back, depending if they liked it. So some people do ask to come back, and I honour their request, saying, yeah, we can make
Huh?
something happen, but not straight away. It's like it's in the future. So occasionally some guests do return,
Uh,
which is cool.
yeah, I never interview a guest twice. I just wanted to keep meeting new people and keep expanding my horizons. Like when I do like an interview on someone, like I do a very thorough job on that person that like I don't need to do another one on the same person. Okay, I don't think there's like anything else to talk about too. And it's also I just get to meet new people and keep, I don't gain any more value talking to, let's say, you again, because like we're not gonna gain anything more from that. But I can have more value by meeting a brand new person because that person might help me more in my future because we already have an established relationship. So like
Mm,
doesn't help that much. It's just a business and numbers thing. The more people I have, the more people I meet and like do an interview with, the more like established my network is. So all it is for me, having as wide of a net I can take. I'm sure I'll be needing some people in the future. As I get bigger, I may need more. I may need someone that has Crohn, for example, or like I'll be like, hey, I know this person. Like it keeps
yeah,
expanding my expanding my audience really, and to
yeah.
keep it going wider and wider.
There's lots of people that have Crohn's, and the good thing is, if you did have a different person, but with maybe the same illness or condition that another guest had, they're always going to have a different story. So that's why it's pretty cool to have maybe that kind of concept. So for me, I don't have I take medication, and some people with Crohn's don't have medication at all. So it just, like, everyone's story is different.
Yeah, that's what's great about this field is that you can like interview like 20 of the same condition, but they can all have totally different stories. That like it's just totally different story. But I do try to like I know that I used to interview a lot of Ehlers-Danlos syndrome people, like not on purpose, but I just noticed that I kept interviewing them like just by chance. So I try to stay with some of those people for a little while, and I try to get like new diseases I never heard of before. And stuff because like I'm learning along with this. Like a year ago, like I didn't know what Ehlers-Danlos syndrome was or Crohn's disease or anything like that. Like I wouldn't really even bother to look by myself anyway. So like at night, it's like, oh, like this person has it, and now I'm like submerge myself in their world and like learn a lot about it. And now I'm in a place where like sometimes I help new people that have never, like I helped a girl out and she was like had these symptoms. I'm like, oh, you sound like you had Crohn's, and then it turned out she had Crohn's. So
Mm,
it's like cool to help people pre-diagnose her right away. Because you know how it is in the early disease world, like doctors don't believe you, or like if you go to 20 different doctors and stuff,
mm,
like I have the knowledge to know so many diseases that maybe I can point you the right direction, or even if I don't know, I could be like, oh, it sounds like Crohn. Let me ask, Mason, for example, like what did he do? Like what, let's say you both lived in UK, and like what, let me ask what doctor he went to, and like, all right, I'll bridge you guys together so you can help them out because we all know like being misdiagnosed and waiting is painful and takes a long time. And I mean, to me, if there's any way I can help a person out, I would do it. Like there's some people like they'll be like, oh, I have this disease, but I'm the only one that knows about it. So like sometimes they'll be like, oh, I know another person that has it, and I bridge that gap together so they have more people that can like relate to their experiences and like talk and such. So I feel like in a privileged place, and the wider I get, the more people I know and the more established relationships, and just it's the yin and yang relationship for everything. So I'm grateful to be where I am. I want to see where I keep going. I'm excited for it.
Yeah, that's really cool. Like you do that. Like you see another person that's been on the show, the same thing, like same condition, and you get them together. I guess. Like
Yeah, I have I have a lot of I have a big following. It's like I use it to my advantage of it. Like I don't just I like to me that it really like matter too much. It's just like grouping people together and stuff like that and really make me that happy with a large following at this point. Like I need money to survive. So the more views I get, the more money I get. That's what's important to me. So, okay, I need you gotta make a living. So that's what I'm trying to do. Go larger and just do better. Like if you want to make an impact in this world, you kind of have to have a large following, and like you can't just complain on Instagram and like expect anything. So kind of waiting to get a larger following to have more sway in like policy, I guess, and such, and like maybe one day I'll have the power to like help get a bill passed or get something done in the future. Like I want to start a like one to get like pretty big to like start to have like grams in the on beaches. I don't think anyone does that. I just have the ability to like go out and like, hey, let's like advocate for this for like wheelchair people and like, hey, let's make ramps for beaches so more people can enjoy the beach and such. Like no one can do it, and like everyone dealing with their life and stuff. So like I want to help out, kind of leave a legacy for myself, but it's also help other people to advocate and like enjoy life because this is it. Like they just gotta take advantage of what you have and do something with it. And I'll definitely want to help the next generation of people.
yeah, I think that's the main thing of doing this. That you just want to help someone. But there's so many different stories that people have, which I'm always interested in. Like I'm always interested in turning on new things myself, and I suppose you are too, because like you learn new things, speaking to all different people, even if you have the same condition, for example. I spoke to some people with Crohn's like me too, so and then they'll tell me something different about their journey, and I think it's really cool because like you're always learning.
Yeah, I only interviewed one person that had my disease. I don't really. To me, I have the disease already, and I don't really need more information. It's just more of the story. I do kind of interview people that like I can like tell we're gonna have a good chemistry and like have a good story to tell. Some just don't have like I like to do research on the person. And some people just don't have like a lot to like do research. So like I want to go into the conversation knowing what to talk about, not just what to do. That's like that's what everyone does. Like I want to be more tailored and more personal with that person. There's some that are just not ready to be interviewed because there's not enough information about them and they're not ready for like one girl talking to, she's like 16 or 17 or whatever. Like she's really young and she kept like, oh, I don't want to talk about this and this and this. And I was like, I don't want to interview, like there's too many barriers. And it's like I don't want to navigate a landmine doing an interview. So I had to say no to her and like maybe in a different time we'll talk again. But like, we're both in a medium that we have to be like both open with ourselves to be real to the world. And like if you don't want to be as open as I want you to be, then it's not gonna work out. Like I respect the boundary, but it's not gonna work out for the other. So gotta be clear that the person I don't want to talk, I'm not gonna push a person to talk about things that they don't want to talk about, and I can't help it. So, but kind of go back to where we first started. We're like, there's gonna be new people to interview, and I mean, to me, it's just their loss, not mine. I'll just move on.
Yeah, we got to move on. We can't just dwell on someone saying, "Oh, oh no, yeah, like I don't want to come. Like like you get the odd few who you ask and they say no, I'm not interested. I rarely get that, but I have a few times.
I never really got. I think I got like one or two actual straight rejection of like not interested. The rest was just more of just ghosting or never responding, or just sometimes they just don't see the message, and that's fine. I don't take it personal at all or anything. It's kind of okay. Thank you for your time. I'll move on. Have a good life. And that's it. No harm, no foul.
No harm done.
Yeah, like there are gonna be people that are gonna like me, and there are gonna be people that don't, and I can't blame people for it. I know they're missing out on a great episode, but I can't help it if someone doesn't like me for whatever reason. And, they're entitled to give their time to me or they're not, and I'll have to respect the boundary and move on.
Yeah, yeah, like it is like it is interesting. Like what I do when recording episodes, I always try and plan it a week ahead. So I've got things planned. Like if I'm doing an episode or so next week, I'll try and plan it this week, just so it's a week ahead. I always like to have a few days off a week though, because it is draining, isn't it? It makes you tired talking on a video call, really, for an hour.
I love this. Like, I'll go on, like I talked about it before. I did 5 interviews with 5 different people, and it's kind of like a lot at the end, but it's also like gave me a lot of energy for it. Like, I don't like you. Like, you don't do as much research on a guest that I do for each person, so like I need the time to actually sit down, like research each person. And I mean, people are busy with their lives too. Like most people have, I guess, like the quickest will be like 4 days or something, but not everyone can just go and like remove an hour from their life to interview you. So I do whatever works for them and just go from there. Like, want them to make some, like, my goal is to make them feel appreciated and like respected, and just have a great episode and feel really good after the episode. I
Yeah,
also just have fun with it.
me, me too. Quite a lot of time, I get people who haven't done it before, or it's their first time. Yeah, been on a podcast, and I really enjoy it when that happens, because it's they're coming on my show for the first time. They've been so they can say they've been on my podcast for the first time, and you get a few that have been on a few, not like us, I guess. Um, but yeah, it is really nice when that happens.
Yeah, I mean, it can be intimidating to like, especially if you're new to advocacy. It's intimidating to like start talking about yourself in a very open space, especially like on a medium like this. And I get it. Like, to me, it's like a piece of cake because I've been doing it for a year, 2 years now. But I understand that people are, like they're a little hesitant, or I wouldn't say insecure, but like, like you can tell they're just starting to know, but like I appreciate them, opening up to me and just sharing their story and everything. And I mean, it's also all about the person that the host is too. Like are they creating a comfortable environment for her? Are they asking the right question? Like, are they, you don't want to push them too much. Like, there's a lot of it goes into it. But I think the biggest thing is they're just comfortable with the person and they're willing to share with you. And everyone seems to like me a lot and want to share. And I just have that vibe of people just want to open up to me and share the deepest, darkest feelings. I am. I use that to my advantage, so it's a perfect medium to be where I am.
Yeah, yeah, I completely agree. It's great fun, like podcasting. Um, and yeah, it's not every day you get to go on another one as well, is it, Joe? So,
Yeah,
um,
it's great. Like, just keep going.
yeah. Well, thank you for coming on my show, Joe. I hope you've enjoyed it.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me.
Yeah. I always like to finish, but it on like I always like each guest, if you have any advice for other people, So do you have any advice for maybe anyone else to just
Just to have people that limit you and they keep going, like just get up and keep going, make a long-term goal and to keep pushing forward. And there's no point of looking back at you're just wasting your time to keep accept whatever situation you're in and to keep moving forward. And I think that's the best thing you can do. A lot of people like to sit down and look back and such, but it's a waste of time and to keep moving forward because the best is ahead of you, hopefully not behind you. So that's
Yeah.
it. To keep going.
Keep going. Well, I love that advice, Joe, because I completely agree. I'm sure everyone watching or listening do too. So thank you again, Joe. It's been great fun, and yeah, I'm glad you've enjoyed it.
Thank you.
Thank you.